Well, hell, welcome to the stream, everybody. It's me, Jack Spade, and tonight I have some D&D for you. We're going to be playing some Curse of Strahd, 5th edition, hard mode. No death saves, limited resources, cooldowns are greatly extended. Strahd is shuffling these guys in and out. You know, they just don't know what to rely on, so they gotta think quick on their feet sometimes. Them's the rules, them's the breaks. And we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. Just let me message them real quick that we're gonna be busting in the door. Just like, boom, here it comes. All right, turn this off, and then I go to this, and then I do this, and then I do this. Hello, everybody. Hello. Well, that was an awesome thing to come back in on. Incredible. Well, I hope everybody is doing well today. Just to kind of give you guys a little brief recap, and if anybody has anything they want to interject with at any time or any questions, please feel free. It's been a couple of weeks, so some things might be hazy. You know, I might not get everything correct, but we're going to do our best to get right back on track. So, the party is comprised of these once orphans who were raised in the town of Waterdeep by an organization called VAFFL, called the Vespers Academy for Future Legends. You grew up with these legendary heroes who were who had this orphanage in Waterdeep, as I said before. And after you guys got old enough, you were sent out on a quest with one of the Vespers. And at the end of that quest, something terrible happened. There was a kidnapping by some werewolves. And being the upstanding mentor that he was, the VAFFL representative that you were traveling with for his quest decided to send you on this one, thinking that you were completely capable and able to handle it. So off into the mists, chasing after these werewolves, you went, successfully picking up the trail, and then running into this mysterious fog that seemed to materialize as you went further and further along the trail. Eventually, you emerged through a thick, foggy forest into Barovia. And after a few moments of traveling along the main road, you were ambushed by werewolves and decided to book it to the closest point of civilization that you could. And you succeeded. After fending off werewolves for a couple of rounds, making them determine that you just weren't worth the trouble this time. So you come to the gates of the village of Barovia, and you begin to explore. You come to understand that you are trapped in the mists of Barovia because Strahd von Zarovich, the ruler of these lands, will not allow you to leave. And Ismark, rather, the Lesser, lets you know that basically the only way to escape is to destroy the Devil Strahd. Any questions or any clarifications so far? Yeah, not yet. Siblingship. So, sorry, there's something I need to do. Okay, so you guys were at the inn of the village of Barovia, and you were talking to the bar owners. Some really fun situations ensued, and You spent the night there, woke up, and decided to explore a little bit more. And you come across the graveyard and the church there. Father Donovan was plagued by the fate of his son, who had been turned into a vampire spawn after he had left with another group of adventurers to go and confront the devil Strahd, hoping to rid Barovia of his curse. But was not the case. He returned back to his father, transformed, who trapped him in the cellar beneath the church, where he screamed out in the pains of hunger. The party, most of you not wanting to allow that to continue, you convinced Father Donovan to give you his key without wresting it from him, and you went and took care of his son, who is no longer alive, or undead in this case. After that, you went to help Ismark the Lesser bury his father's corpse, who had been killed after his home, the manor of the burgomaster of Barovia, after that manor had been assailed by Strahd and his minions. You guys decided to help him take the corpse to the cemetery where Father Donovan did the last rites for the corpse, and successfully interred him. After leaving the cemetery, you were beset upon by the Barovian mists. And as soon as that happened, another ghostly figure appeared before you, that of Sergei von Zarovich, Strahd's younger brother. Sergei told you that you were being tested by Strahd to see if you would be continued to exist in his lands. And as he said this, the mists encroached upon you fully and deposited you in front of Death House, as the locals like to call it. Sergei made no illusions as to what horrors you would find inside, but definitely tried to convince you that you would not be able to leave until you dealt with whatever was inside. And so bravely, the party decided to venture inside after speaking to Thorn and Rose, the two children that do live in Death House, it seems, and they begged the party to help save their parents. Anything anyone would like to go over so far? Is everything jiving so far with your memories? Okay. All right. Right. Yes. So you ventured into Death House, and as you did, there were some creepy things that happened. There were these wolves that were termidaxi. No, that's not the right term. Thank you, taxidermy. Wow, I went what's the word? Dyslexic for a second there. There were these taxidermied wolves that seemed to come alive for a moment, injuring some of the party members. As you continue to ransack, taking weapons that you found stashed in places, taking paintings that look like they were valuable, and just turning the place over, looking for the source of the evil and also for Rose and Thorn's parents. Let's see. Does anybody else have anything to add? Okay. All right. That was the first floor. And then you went up to the second floor, where you were confronted by a animated armor which attacked you. Two suits of armor, I should say, actually. And they put the beat down on you. Some of you getting bruised, some of you escaping, and then you continue to explore another layer. or sorry, further on this floor. And as you did, you came across an animated broom, which also sprung to life and attacked you. As the animated broom was eventually felled, some of you became even braver. Oh, I should mention, over the course of switching between these floors, Eggy, which was the wizard in quotation, was absconded with by Strahd. Some mist came out of a chimney or out of a fireplace and took him and replaced him. And replacing him was another sibling by the name of Norwin. Norwin, the big, strong paladin, who was not always big and strong. He used to be like a scrawny little runt of a guy. Now he's grown up. He's grown up quite a bit. And then as Norwin was getting used to seeing his foster siblings, Oshai was also taken in a likewise manner. But still, the party decided to continue, hoping that Strahd would return their siblings to them at some point if they solved the trouble here at the Death House. You guys discovered a secret room, found some more loot. You also discovered where the nanny was living, and her specter basically shooed you all out of her living space, which Alice was more than happy to vacate. Alice, also arriving in Barovia while the party was in Death House, initially replacing Oshai. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much everything that's happened so far, other than the house doing some spooky stuff, hiding staircases, turning doors into walls, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to go ahead and pick up. Does anybody have anything they'd like to add? We'll see. We'll see about that. But for now, just to remind you, Hoshi, who is playing Oshai, you currently are not here in Barovia. You've been absconded with and replaced by Norwin. As you are just kind of looking around, where we left off the last session, that there was a noise coming from somewhere above you. As you guys are dealing with that, you will all begin to hear a song, a melodic kind of voice echoing from somewhere to the north. And the song will get a little bit louder and then goes quieter and then fades for a moment. And then you hear it start to get louder again, except that Tia is now singing the song as she begins to walk to the north. And Norwin rushes after her, seeing the state that she's in. As you do, Tia approaches the fireplace, and Norwin puts a hand on her shoulder, as if to try to stop her. But Tia stops and turns to look at all of you, and she says, "I'm afraid I have to go home now." And then she looks to Norwin and says, "She says you have to come too." And suddenly, there is another burst of mist that comes out of the fireplace as these two are engulfed. And then there is a thunk on the ground as Oshai, you reappear where the other two were standing. Oshai. Oshai, you've been in Waterdeep for several days since the last time you remember being in Barovia. You've had the time to talk to your foster parents, the members of the Vespers about what's happened so far to you guys. And you were asleep in your bed in Waterdeep, and now you have been returned to this hell. You recognize Alice, who is new. Oh, you see her. It's been 2. You hear coming from above you, thunk, 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 thunk. Just to review, there is a dumbwaiter here. This is an empty closet. This is a space that leads to the outside. That's kind of like that's like a balcony that oversees the yard. You can see the floor above it, above this room that you're currently standing in, by standing on here and then looking in this direction. So you can see the floor above. Mm-hmm. You look into the dumbwaiter and you peer up, and you realize that this is the termination of the dumbwaiter. It does not go further up. Yes, you are. You human. You human. You. Well, as Tia was absconded with, her familiar, her invisible helper was also taken, who was carrying the torch. So have fun with that. I'll say it went out as it dropped, so the house isn't burning around you. That's her bird. So you're gonna pick up the torch. All right. Let me find you a torch. No, they are not currently. Okay, sure, you can do that. Let me do that real quick. Now you can see Alice, thanks to the fire. You put your hands on the roof of this closet. You begin to kind of feel around, and you feel along the walls. And your hands are finding all of the nooks and crannies, anything that might be hidden, but you don't find anything. Yeah, you would have to you would have to be on somebody's shoulders, and then you would have to try to smash the wall to get through it. You begin to look at the ceiling, and your eyes kind of drift towards the molding at the top of the walls, and you can see that the molding has like this very intricate kind of carved motif in it. And as your attention drifts more and more towards it, you can see more and more detail of this molding, and you see that there are tiny skulls in there. You can see that in the skulls there are serpents slithering in and out of the eye sockets, and you can see that there are these skeletal figures in the backgrounds of these very intricately carved molding pieces, but you do not spot any kind of hidden latch or anything. Okay, yeah, I'm just okay. You begin to walk around looking at the ceiling, not watching where you're going. Understood. uh yes, very Daphne Blake of you. uh Hold on just a second for me. Right? I don't think that lit it up for you. Or did it? It didn't. Okay. Yeah, I'll just do that. Yeah, there's supposed to be an effect I can toggle on and off, but that's fine. It's supposed to be 30/30 if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Okay. Casey, as you enter this space, I'd like you to make a perception check because you're paying extra attention to your surroundings. With a 15, you can hear that there is the very subtle sound of wind or of air being moved through a narrow gap somewhere in this direction. uh, you run your hands along the gap, and as you do so, you do actually discover that there is a latch that you can pull. Okay. As you do, a door opens. If you go into that tile, you should be moved over to the next map. If it doesn't do it automatically, I'll do it. Um, there's a door in front of you that I'm just going to say is open because Alice is already at the top somehow. When you enter this attic space, you will see that is covered in dust and cobwebs, and you can hear a still loud thunk, 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 coming from this room to the north. No, you don't see any tracks in the floor at all. Hold on. Hold on just a second. What the fuck? For some reason that's bugged. I'll deal with it later. I'm sorry. Yeah. You you enter this space and you see appreciate you waiting on me. You see this is a spare bedroom. You can see that it's modestly furnished. You see that there is a slender bed, a nightstand, a small iron stove for heating, and a writing desk with a stool. In addition, you can see that the draftiness of this space is causing the rocking chair. Jesus, my brain. The rocking chair in the corner is causing it to rock back and forth, giving it a eerie, eerie. It does have a drawer. Mhm. Sure. When you open the drawer, you hear what sounds like a little girl laughing coming from behind you. As you turn around, you will see that there is a little doll on the windowsill that is flopped over, but its dead eyes are staring in your direction. Okay. As you cut into this doll with a dagger, you see that it erupts into maggots and centipedes and just all kinds of carrion crawlers, and you are covered in them, or at least your hand is. You prestige take the bug guts and the shells out of his hair and off of his skin. As you open the drawers to this cabinet, you don't see anything of value. You see that there's some very ruined pieces of garments. You can see like there's a dress gown that has moth holes chewed through it. You can see that it's just caked in dust, this furniture in here. It's it seems like the papers that are actually on there are blank, and the inkwell that's on top is full. You can see that the quill is set to the side. Seems like it hasn't been used in a very long time. Sure. Um, Ashrin, as you're standing there listening to your siblings explore the space, you hear the thunk, 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 thunk coming from the north again. Mm-hmm. Behind that door you're standing in front of. As you open this space, you can see that the furniture inside is covered with protective sheets. You can see that there is a mirror that's covered as well. That's pretty obvious to tell. There's also another iron, as you enter the room, you will see in the corner a very feminine spiritual shape appears and screams at you. And I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative. Oh, it worked this time. Awesome. Uh, let's see. You got a 16. Okay, I'll update that quick. Oh, 17. Okay. Here, I'll just correct that here in a second. $17. Casey, are you able to roll? Try again. Try again. I'm hoping. There it goes. There it goes. All right. All right. We will begin combat. Top of the round, hey roll. You hear Ashwin exclaim as this spirit appears and begins to move. What do you do? You do not. Okay. That's going to be your turn. Does he have a bonus action? All right. Asherin, you see that the specter is completely focused on you, and now Hayroll, who enters the room, and you can see her ghostly hands are like outstretched before the two of you. What do you do? It just screams over in your direction like a wail of torment and pain. Ooh, okay. So that's a dex save, right? If I'm not mistaken. Oh, whoops. I preemptively did the acid. Should not have done that. Because they succeed. I believe they still take the initial damage, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I incorrect? Da, 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 da. Oh, I see. That's okay. So that's why it trades. That's what it trades dots for. Okay, for save or suck. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough, buddy. Yeah, correct. Because they succeeded. Yeah, that's rough. Okay. All right. It is now the Spectre's turn. The Spectre is going to rush to the nearest target and is going to attack you with life drain. So go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, please. No, that was my attack to see if he needs to make it to begin with. Succeeds. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna roll damage. Ooh. So you're going to suffer 12 points of damage. Shouldn't have that +2 on there. So yeah, that's going to be 12 points of damage. On your turn you can. On your turn you can. All right, and that's going to be the Spectre's turn. Alice, you hear this banshee-like wail, and then you hear a thud as Ashwin is pushed up against the wall, taking damage. Oh, dude, that has been so long ago. I'm gonna say for now, yeah, you can sacrifice your healing surges for replenishing rages if you want to. I believe for for now, I'm gonna say 1 for 2. If that turns out to be too OP, I'll probably decrease it. I might nerf it. Oh, I remember now. I remember now. Okay, so it was if you use a healing surge, it's 1 for 1. But if you use a death defiance, then you get all of them back. That's what it was. Okay. That will hit. Roll damage. The Spectre will not take as much damage as you were hoping, but you do see that there is some effect. Let me see. What's your strength? Okay, so that's +3. Yeah. Oh, that's because you're right. So yeah, it takes 1 more. Okay, great. All right. What else? Mm-hmm. All right. And just to verify, did you want to use a hit dice or a death defiance to get your rage back? You have 2 hit dice. Yeah. Yeah, you have 2 rages. Yeah. Okay. Great. So you have no more hit dice left. All right. Okay. So let me give you a rage and then we'll go ahead and spend it. There we go. Just so we're square, maintaining game state. Okay. All right. Casey. Sure. Got it. All right. Okay. Dante, the first person he sees is going to be Hayrol. And so he will help Hayrol. All right. Oshai, it is now your turn. Let's see. You are a you have cunning action. So you can cunning action dash. So you can just regular attack and you'll have sneak attack because there's people around this specter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right, you do. Ooh, that hits. Roll damage. Damn. We'll also roll sneak attack as well. Yeah. You see that the specter is now struggling to maintain its corporeal form as Oshai stabs into it from the side. So you get sneak attack. You get sneak attack whenever you have an ally within 5 feet of your target, or if you have advantage. All good. All right. Hey, roll. All right. Ooh, that is just gonna hit. Just hits. Is your Warhammer silvered? Remind me. Got it. All right. So that's just going to be 4 points of damage. The specter is barely hanging on. You can see that its form is flickering, as if its chains to this material plane are fading fast. Anything else you'd like to do? All right, Ashrin. It'll be a bonus action. So to use it, you'll just roll a hit die. So just click on that number 2 on your character sheet next to your HP bar, and then you will hit roll dice. There you go. Very nice. You still have your action and movement left. All right, make that attack. There should be a attack. There you go. That will hit. Roll damage. You. You grab onto this ghost, and you see that it is slightly resistant to your damage, but it is still just enough to overload the ectoplasm circuits of this creature, and it explodes into ethereal light. And you are now out of combat. Correct. Yeah. His wizard staff. Yes. Yeah, I'll say okay. Uh you light one here. You shoot a little prestidigitation into this corner over here. I'll say you light the stove, so there's a lot of light in here now. No, no, no. It's a wood stove. It's a wood stove. Very nice. I got it. No, you're good. Yeah, I got it for you already. Oh, what the hell? Oh, I see it. That was my bad. Here, let me fix it. Wait, what is your? I don't know why you had a temporary maximum. Oh well, it's fixed now. Dunk, 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 dunk. You hear? Alice. Alice looks completely fine. Yes, Eggy was back home as well. As you enter into the room, you will see that there are two skeletons on the floor belonging to a couple of children. You can see that they are long dead. You can see that the you can see that the larger skeleton, perhaps the older child, that skeletal remains are grasping the hand, like one of the hands of the smaller skeleton. No, they're both child sized, but there was one child that was obviously older than the other. Yeah. The thumping does not happen again as Alice enters the door. Okay. Alice, how long does your rage last for? Okay. Yes. I'll say as you walk into this room and don't see anything hostile, the rage fades. As you enter this space, Casey, as you enter this room, you will see. Uh, sorry, just double checking something. Uh, okay, sorry. I lost my place. You see another spare bedroom. This is another web-filled room that contains a slender bed. All right, actually, yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah, so it's very much similar to the other spare room that you've already explored. Alice, as you begin to walk around this room, you will see a couple of shapes appear on the beds as Rose and Thorn Durst's spirits appear before you. And you will hear Rose say, "Please don't take any of our toys." And then you will just see little Thorn say, or just start to sniffle as he holds onto his little owl bear with his thumb in his mouth. We're not sleeping anymore. The nanny was supposed to bring us something to eat, but it has been so long. No, I don't really feel anything anymore. She kind of pouts and sits on the bed. You hear little Thorn beginning to start to sniffle, and Rose drifts and doesn't even touch the ground but floats over to her little brother and puts a hand on his shoulder and says, there, little little brother, it'll be all right." And she kind of like hugs him and comforts him. Anyway, Casey, what would you like to do in there? Hey, sure. Let me just double check something real quick. Da, 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 da. What are you looking for, or what are you looking through, I should say? Okay. As you begin to look around, look through things, you start to spend some time kind of turning things over, um, exhibiting your inner hay roll, just ruthlessly digging through anything that might be valuable. While that's Gotcha. While that's going on, what are the rest of you guys doing? Okay. Um, you hear Rose say, "Please do not step on us. You can come in, just be careful." "We died," and she like rolls her eyes as she says that, and like looks at you. She shrugs and says, "You cannot help the dead; they're already dead. So don't even bother lying to us, okay?" She looks at you confused. What are you talking about? Our Our parents, mommy and daddy, are the ones who put us in here and told the housekeeper to feed us and take care of us. But she hasn't been here in so long. She shrugs and says, and shakes her head. No, she is one floor below us. She wanted to be closer to Henry, our baby brother. He was born and he never cried, you know. Why would you be sorry he never cried? He was such a good baby. It's not that I don't like it, it's just, babies are easier to take care of when they don't cry all the time. Are you talking about this one over here? This one? That was the nursery. That was where baby Henry was kind of kept. Let me make sure that's correct. Hold on a second. Let me just verify. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Never mind. She doesn't say that. She says that's just a place where we put all the old dusty things we don't use anymore. This one? No, that's where mommy and daddy's guests sometimes stayed. The one below us, the one with the tiger rug. It was so nice and warm and fuzzy. She kind of smiles for a moment, and then you see the smile fades, and she looks down at the bones in her corpse on the ground. It's just the boy specter that seems to have a spectral owlbear. You can see that the toy that he's carrying, the face of the owlbear is like a skeleton, and it's just the beak that's kind of exposed. But the rest of the owlbear is kind of it's like a knitted body. And the rest of the owlbear looks normal except for the face. No, I don't want you to take them. Don't take them. Thorn gets all sad and he starts to cry. It's annoying. She points at you and says, "Don't touch them." But if you want to help, you should take our bones downstairs so we can be at rest. She nods. No, wait. No, 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 not downstairs. I mean downstairs. Yes. We want to be buried with Mama and Papa. They're in the basement. She kind of cocks her head and says, "You haven't seen the paintings?" That's true. I forgot you looted the painting from the frame. Hey, roll. Hey, roll. You hear this conversation, by the way. Okay. Um, if you do this, do you do this in full sight of Rose and Thorn? Okay. uh, you see, Oshai, just to remind you of what this painting looks like. Let me see if I can find the correct description. Hold on just a second, please. Da, 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 da. Sorry, I'm trying to find the you see um a portrait of a family. You see a man with salt and pepper hair that's done up in a very fancy kind of way. He's very well dressed, not like in a noble regal attire, but definitely like more fancy than your average citizen. He has an arm around a woman, presumably his wife, Elizabeth Durst, is who is looking at the child that is swaddled in Gustav Durst's arms with quite a bit of scorn. And then below these two, you can see Rose and Thorn Durst are just kind of like sitting in a very nice pose at their feet. As as you have this conversation, Casey, you've spent enough time digging through things in here. Go ahead and roll 3d6 for me, please. Nine. Okay. You find a total of, excuse me, 27 gold pieces. You find them just kind of like lost in drawers. You find a pouch that contained most of it, and the rest of it's just kind of been like rolled under like the various pieces of furniture is how you found the rest. Other than that, you don't really find anything of note or value. Mm-mm. I will notice. I mean, I will say though that whenever you um kind of moved furniture and it would like knock up against this wall, it sounded kind of hollow on the other side. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a regular wall. It sounds like there's some kind of empty space on the other side. Okay. All right. So you guys in here, is there anything you'd like to say before that starts to happen? I'm gonna give you a little leeway. Yeah, there that was the request to take both of their corpses and deliver them to their proper resting places. Oh, Henry? Oh. Uh they Rose will say Henry's already there with Mama and Papa. Don't worry about Henry. They took very good care of him. She narrows her eyes at you and she says, You promise to take us home?" Alice, do you say anything? Ash, make a persuasion check with advantage. Persuasion with advantage. Persuasion with advantage. You see something in the eyes of Rose and Thorndurst for a moment. They hear your words, and there is a brief moment of consideration where they were going to do something to you and Alice in this room. But they, at a moment's notice, they reconsider. And Rose simply nods and says, Very well. We appreciate your assistance with this. And she floats up to the ceiling with her brother, and they both disappear. And then that's when you hear BAM! Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll to attack. Hey, roll. It's a wall you still hit, so go ahead and roll damage. It's kind of hard to miss a wall. Minimal damage though. There's a solid dent in the wall, but you'll need to keep going. You two hear the noise. What do you do? Alice, as you go towards the door, you'll see that Rose will reappear and says, "You promised to take us home." Okay, just checking. And she disappears again. Okay. Sure. After a few moments, you will see that there is a break in the wall. As you will see a spiral staircase that is revealed to you as soon as I get the walls to cooperate. Bear with me, please. And then you will also notice you will you will also notice that there is actually a secret door on the other side of this little place. There's a landing to the other side. You're just like, ew. Alice and Ash, you two spend a few moments collecting the remains and put them all together as much as you can. And you have that ready to go. Um, Now that you've seen where the hidden room is, you or the hidden door, you very easily are able to pop it open. Okay, so we're going to be digging through this toy chest, eh? That's what I'm saying. You're going to be looking through. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. You open the chest. Inside, you see that there are a small collection of wooden toys. You can see that there is a wooden toy of a kelpie. It's not an actual like horse. Instead, you can see that the back end of this horse is it's like a fish with like this curved tail, kind of like the old Renaissance kind of drawings, right? Of like a not a hippocampus. What's the word I'm looking for? Actually, I think that actually might be the word for it. Is a but anyway, it is wooden. Yes, it's connected to like a couple of. It's like okay, so it's like the like a wooden horse with wheels on it, right? But instead of the back half being legs, it's just like this very well sculpted wooden like fish half on the back of this horse. In addition, you see that there are wooden blocks with like letters carved into them. You see that there's like a very childish puzzle of like fitting shapes into places that's made out of wood. Um, and as you kind of like go through, probably the most intricate thing is the wooden horse with wheels on it. And you can see that there is a tag on the bottom of this piece of art that says "Is no fun, is no Blinsky." And then you just have to step on that square and you'll be teleported away. He already went down. Hold up a sec. Don't move anything. Shit. Damn it. Hold on just a second, please. Hold on just a second, please. Something has gone wrong. This should not have. It did. It teleported y'all to the wrong place. Who was first? Harold was first. Oshai was first. Okay. All right, hold on a second. I'll get y'all guys where you're supposed to be. Oshai, you begin to go down these steps and they creak under your feet as you go down and down and down. You know that you're traveling a fair distance down, but there's no way to see outside. You can hear the groaning under the weight of your steps as it seems like you're being passed along the digestive tract of a wooden beast as it processes you along. And you come to the landing here, which you should be able to see because you have dark vision. Yeah. Alice, you're in between your two foster brothers, and you're likewise going down and down and down. You come to the landing right behind Hayroll and Oshai directly behind you. And as you continue forward, I'll let your siblings come down as well. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, I know. I'm moving you. Oh, whoops. You went back up. All right, hold on. Hold on. Let me get you. Let me find out where it put you this time. I thought I fixed this whenever I was doing the teleporters, but I guess not. There we go. You don't really see that there's a lot of things to light down here. Alice, it's a good thing that Alice is holding a torch because she's the only source of light down here. As you are approaching this area, Hayrol, you will see. Da, 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 da. You see that there are several crypts that are hewn from the earth here, and you can see that each crypt is sealed with a stone slab. um, Hey, roll. You will see that the southern crypt etched into the stone. You will see the name Walter Durst. Correct. Um, as you kind of offer a prayer, you will start to hear some eerie singing coming from somewhere inside this underground space. And then when you, yeah, and then when you stop praying, the singing will die down. Nope, seemed to be coming from not omnidirectional, but a direction you couldn't pinpoint. Exactly. In the painting. Yeah, it was on the painting. Yes. Da, 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 da. Elizabeth. Elizabeth Durst. I paused. Hold on a second. You see a wooden table and four chairs at the east end of this room, or in the center that you're right there at. And you can see a little bit further on that there are alcoves. And you can see kind of peeking from behind the corners of these alcoves, you can see that there are straw pallets. You will see that there is a straw pallet on the ground. It doesn't look very comfortable. No, it's another straw pallet. No, it's another straw pallet. Nice. As you enter this space, you see a similar setup, except you see that there is a well here in the center of the room, and you can see that there is another hallway that continues further on to the south. You also see that there are more alcoves that you can potentially explore. It's just refuse, just been like, and you can also see that part of this tunnel here is partially collapsed. It's just dilapidation, just built up over time. Sure. Sure. You throw the rock down and you count for about 3 seconds, then you hear a sploosh. Hey, roll. You're looking at this alcove, and you can see that there is a chest in this room. Okay. You open the chest and you may loot its contents. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because it won't just split it up amongst your group. It'll split it up against amongst every player I have on this server. So don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, don't. Yeah, don't do that, please. Uh, yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it's doing that to you. Uh, huh. I don't know. I'll have to look at that as a player and see if I can figure that out. Go ahead and just go ahead and keep doing that while someone else is looting or going around. What do the rest of y'all do while hair roll is collecting money? Uh you estimate that you've gone at least 3 flights of stairs. Correct. Indeed there is. You may loot what's inside if you would like. It's not supposed to be, hold on. Sorry. Da, 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 da. Oh, that's right. You find 3 moss agates that are in a folded piece of black cloth. And you do not. They just seem like shiny stones. Let's see. What are you trying to do? Sorry. Oh yeah, just like leave it alone for now. I'll see if I can add the stuff directly to your inventory here in a second. Uh, yeah, just make a note. Ash, you likewise discover a chest in this alcove. You may double click and open it if you would like to. Oh, that one's empty too. What the fuck? I thought in this chest, you find a black leather eye patch with a carnelian sewn into it. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a red-brown gemstone. It does not appear magical at first glance. Looks around in the darkness down here. You don't see anything that would like denote an identification or anything like that. You do see that there are remnants of black cloth. Like you'll see like errant strands of black dyed fiber on the bed and stuff like that. And then you will see that there are also chests in these alcoves as well. There's nothing in them, so don't double click them. I'll just tell you what's in there if you want to know. Okay. In that chest, you will find a silvered short sword. That I should be able to add to silvered. That contains an ivory brush with silver bristles. No, it just looks very fancy. Go ahead and pick that up, Ash, please. There we go. All right. And that's pretty much all you see in this room. You know that there's water in the well. What would you like to do next? You see that there is a crossroads up ahead. You can continue to go towards the east, or you can take a more southerly direction. I'm gonna assume they fall in. There there are no sconces to light down here whatsoever. You see that there is a somewhere that goes further down. You see here that there is this is like some kind of gathering space that you've entered into, Ash. You can see that there's traces of meals being had here. You can see that there are traces of people gathering here. You can see that there is like traces of traffic, like people who were standing around in here. Like this was like not a high capacity room, but it was well used at some point. You can see like there are people like standing around the edges while some people sat here at the table. As your hand touches the door, back up, back up, back up. It sticks to it. It doesn't budge. And then as your hand is continuing to be stuck to the door, you will see that it grows teeth, and then you will see eyes begin to appear as you will see that the door is actually a mimic. And I need everybody to roll initiative again. You got a 2 this time, and you have a +1 bonus, right? Oh, okay, so just a 2 total. All right, let me modify that. All right. Everybody's initiative is in. We'll go ahead and start that. And Alice, you are first up. Oh, I apologize. One, two, three, four, five, six. So you basically been in Ash's square, so you can't move there. Oh wait, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you could stand behind Ash, or you could get here actually, if you want to. He is grappled. He's not going anywhere. And you see this door is its tongue is like lolling out, and you can see that Ash is struggling to remove himself from the door. What would you like to do? Okay. So you want to get Ash away from the door? Make a athletics check. 14. With a 14, you're able to rip Ash off the door. So I'll say you'll stay in place, but you're no longer grappled. There we go. All right. That's going to be Alice's turn. Oshai. Correct. You just can't end there. You've all trained together, so it's pretty feasible to like just be like move, and then the person in front of you will move out of the way because they know how you're about to attack. Rapier. That will hit. Roll damage, and you have sneak attack as well. All right. Okay. Do an offhand. Your rapier is stuck to this creature. So you will have to leave it behind unless you want to stay with it. Okay. All right. Bonus action disengage. Okay. Anything else? Casey, it is now your turn. You do hear shenanigans. Oh, I totally forgot about Dante again. I apologize. Where's he going? Okay. Okay. Go ahead and select the mimic and attack. Ooh, I don't think that's gonna hit. Nope. 8's gonna miss, unfortunately. All right. That's gonna be Casey's turn. Hey, roll. It's now your turn. $17 will hit. Roll damage. Ooh, pretty good. And now your Warhammer is stuck to the mimic. Okay. All right. That's going to be Harold's turn. Now it's the mimic's turn. It has A few targets that it can go for. It sees that the Warhammer is stuck to him. But he's gonna make a 1d4 roll here. 3, Alice. Okay. Alice, you will be the target of this attack. It's gonna be a pseudopod. No, actually, never mind. You're in range, so that's gonna be a bite, actually. Yeah, because it doesn't have multi attack, so yeah, it's just gonna try to bite you. Normal. Ooh, that's gonna hit. 10 points of damage to Alice. And that's gonna be its turn. It stays in place. Ashrin, is now your turn. Yes. Yeah, you'll have to be touching him, so you'll get yourself stuck again. Okay. Very good. That hits. Roll damage. And your hand is stuck once more. Okay. Alice, it is your turn once more. You see that your brother is stuck again. Oh, that's right. Ash had advantage on that. Roll again to see if you crit. No, just roll the attack again. Roll the attack again. Why is it doing the damage again? Yeah, attack. No, just do it regularly because you've already rolled. So we'll take the first one. Okay, yeah, never mind. Let's go ahead. Okay. Would you like to know? Make a martial check. Mm-hmm. I will give you with a 14 that this creature is completely immobile. So the easiest way to take care of it would be to back up and just fill it with arrows or some kind of ranged attack. Okay. Make another athletics check. That will succeed. Once more, you are pride free, Ashman. You just hear it's like the worst sticky tack sound, just like. Do you want to pull him away as you move back? Okay. All right. Even if it wanted to, it couldn't because of shocking grasp. Yes. Oshai, it is now your turn. Okay. What are you attacking with? Okay. You will also have sneak attack as well if you hit. Ooh, that's gonna miss. The rapier is stuck to the mimic, but actually no, it doesn't stick. You just glance off, so you still have that rapier. Do you have a? If you have a dagger, you can use your offhand if you'd like to, or something. Oh, then you could punch it. Correct. Try to hide. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check. Go ahead and make a stealth check there for me. Uh 15, that's pretty good. Okay. All right, Oshai is hidden behind a wall. Casey, is now your turn. Okay. You did the damage instead of attacking. There we go. That will hit. Roll damage. Very nice. 6 points of damage. Boop. Okay. Hey, roll. It is now your turn. Yeah, I'll say it's a free action to swap weapons. You let go of your warhammer, and then you swing with the longsword. Yes. Ooh, that'll hit. Roll damage. And that will deal 6 points of damage to the mimic. You can see that you let go of the longsword. Okay, just making sure. The mimic is now bloodied. You can see that it's breathing kind of hard. All right. All right. That's going to be Hirul's turn. Next is the mimic. The mimic. Let me just check something. The mimic is going to loll its tongue around and it's going to fling it towards Casey. No, it has disadvantage because you're out of range. Oh, a natural one. The tongue stops just short of your face, Casey, and then it shoots back into its mouth. Yeah, basically. Ashran, it is now your turn. Reaction attack. Okay. This guy will pretty much automatically fail this deck save. So he will be automatically engulfed in acid. Oh no, is that true? Okay, never mind. Never mind, never mind. It just doesn't take the damage until next turn. That's what it is. I believe. Or does it say? Let me double check. Okay, at the start of each of its turn, yeah. So it's covered this turn, and then next turn it'll take damage. All right. All right. Alice, it is now your turn. You see that this thing is covered in acid. And you can see it's burning. It's not having a good day. There's a table. There's some chairs. It looks like there's also some kind of debris. There's like a vase here on top of the table. uh just make a d20 roll for me, please. And we'll add your strength modifier as well. Plus 10. Unfortunately, that's not gonna do anything. The table sticks momentarily, and then it just falls off the mimic, doing no damage. All right. Oshai, it is now your turn. Yep, sure is. That is if your target hasn't seen you. It's with advantage. He does not see you. No. Like you're attacking from you're an unseen attacker, so you have advantage. Yes. Yep. Yeah. It's part of the yeah. Ooh, that's not gonna hit, unfortunately. You you'll need to now you'll need an action to pull it off, yeah. Do you still wanna move that far, or do you wanna take a step back? Okay. Up to you. All right. Casey, it's now your turn. Okay. From a distance. Ooh. Uh that hits. That hits. That hits. Roll damage. Ooh, good damage too. Yeah, you don't want to get tongued. Hey, roll, it is now your time. All right. It automatically fails this deck save, so, so roll damage after you queue up the thing. All right. It takes that 3 damage. Very good. Anything else? Alrighty. Next is the Mimic's turn. Everybody's out of range, so it's going to shoot a pseudopod at Oshai. But it will be at disadvantage, though. Oh, that's right. Yes, thank you. Let me see. 2d4. Go and roll 2d4 for me. 5 damage. Nice. And it misses its pseudopod. It shoots forward, and just like with Casey, it stops right in front of your face, Oshai, and then retracts back into its mouth with a rubber band snap. But, you know, horrible. Ashran, it is now your turn. Mm-hmm. There are chairs. There are chairs. Make a strength check. Make a strength check for me. I think that's how we're gonna do it. Because you're not proficient with chairs. Check. A check, yeah. That hits. Oh, roll 1d6 for me, please. And we're gonna add 1 to this damage as well. So 4 points of damage. Anything else, Ashwin? Alice, is now your turn. This is the last chair that's not broken. That's gonna miss, unfortunately. Oh, okay. That will hit. You're gonna roll 1d6 as well, and we're gonna add your strength to the damage. Your strength modifier. Ooh, max damage. What's your 9 damage? Apply. What the fuck? You will see the chair collides with the mimic, and it stops moving as it collapses in on itself and dies. Oh, whoops, sorry. I meant to take the mimic that's hidden. You're gonna heal who? Okay. Nice. There we go. Very good. Oshai, when you enter this space, you see This room is festooned with moldy skeletons that hang from rusty shackles against the walls. A wide alcove contains a painted wooden statue carved in the likeness of a gaunt, pale-faced man wearing a voluminous black cloak, his pale left hand resting on the head of a wolf that stands next to him. In his right hand, he holds a smoky gray crystal orb. Yes. It's a sculpture. Or like a wooden carving, I should say. And in his left hand, you see him petting a large wolf, and in his right hand, he holds outstretched a gray smoky orb. And you see along the walls are chained skeletons against the wall. Okay. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you take the orb, the cloak isn't an actual cloak, it's just carved onto the sculpture. The only thing that you could possibly take is the orb. No. Would you like to... Would you... So are you still taking the orb? You're taking the orb. Okay. As you take the orb, you will see along the walls where the skeletons are shackled, you will see these strange dark creatures begin to appear. As shades stand and step out of the corpses. And then we will roll initiative once more. Seven. Hey, roll. Did you roll? Seven. Meds, did you roll for Hayrol? I don't know if you can hear me or not. Oh, he did. So he's probably talking to somebody. Yes. Yeah, there's one in the corner you can't see. I'm just going to go ahead and roll for him. And then we'll just get this rocking and rolling here. Okay. Alice. It is now your turn. You see these smoky, shadowy figures emerge from the skeletons, unbound and menacing in their countenance, and they look upon you and your siblings. What do you do? Okay, go ahead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Med's disconnected. Hope everything's okay. That will succeed. You can learn like 2 things, man. What would you like to know? No. They will resist bludgeoning damage, piercing, slashing from non-magical sources. They will also resist lightning, thunder, cold, fire, and acid. That will be the other thing that you can learn is that they are vulnerable to radiant damage. Right? I know, man. It sucks that your paladin player's out of town. Damn, sucks. Yep, that's the two things you can learn. Okay. You will regain all of your rages by spending one death defiance. And then go ahead and spend one of those rages. All right. That will hit. Roll damage. That was reckless, by the way, right? Okay. Just making sure. Alrighty. The shade will take that damage and turn to face you. All right. Next is the shade's turn. The shade will approach you from behind, and it will attack with advantage. It will miss. All right, and that's going to be its turn. Payroll. It is now your turn. You and your siblings are surrounded by a group of shades. Alice has told you that you need to start hitting these things with divine magic, or you're all probably going to die. Oh, did you crash? Oh shit. Okay. Okay. That's correct. Yes, it does force damage. No, it is not immune or resistant to force damage. No, it'll always be force damage, even if it's a sword or a club. It doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Which one? Okay. So this one here. All right. He's gonna make a dex save. He fails. So he's gonna take roll damage. Ooh. He takes a massive amount of damage. You can see that his lower half his lower half where the flame erupts just it disintegrates momentarily before it is very weakly reformed. And you can see that these other spirits begin to look to you specifically. Would you like to move or anything else, Hayrul? All right, Oshai, is now your turn. Alrighty. If you hit, you will have sneak attack. That hits. Max damage. And this is the silvered, right? All right. This creature is bloodied, and with your sneak attack damage applied as well, it also falls down dead. It disintegrates. It disintegrates on top of your blade and poofs into just nothing but ash and shadow. You didn't need to. It had 1 HP left. All right. Okay. And you will also do it without proficiency bonus as well for the attack. So we'll be at a... Oh, because you're still targeting this one over here. Here, let me unhide him. There you go. There we go. Oh, there you go. That will miss, unfortunately. You plunge the rapier again, emboldened by your victory, but the shadow just forms around it and stares at you in the eyes as you continue to hold on to the orb. Okay, that's fine. The shadow that is injured will now attack Oshai. I'm sorry, Hayrul. It'll be regular because there's no flanking for this creature. Ooh, 18 to hit. That hits. And now you will suffer some damage. You will, let's see, what was I'm sorry, what was the damage again? Damage is this. Normal. All right, you will suffer 5 points of necrotic damage, and you will also lose 2 points to your strength score. All right, so you're at 15 strength, and that's going to be its turn. Let's see. That was that one. Okay. All right, that's why it skipped. Okay. Ashwin, is now your turn. All right, Oshai and Alice. You should be able to see them now. So that one, and then that one. I got it. There we go. All right. Well, you can't stop on her square. So you gotta. Okay. All right. I was about to say. All right, bro. Let's go. All right. This shade is going to also start to glom onto Payroll and attack him, setting up the flank for his fellow shade. Oh no. Yep, that was a crit. Can you see it? You can see it. Okay. Oh, you're so lucky. All right. It'll roll again then. It'll roll again then. You're so lucky. You're so lucky. And it misses. Who do you give advantage to? Okay, Alice, you have advantage for your next thing. Oh my god, that was incredibly lucky. This shade is now its turn. It is also going to try to attack Hayroll. It will do so with advantage because of flanking. 14. All right. Casey, it is now your turn. You see the worst about to happen, and you cast Silvery Barbs, and you rebuff the attack of one of these shades. What do you do? Okay. I don't remember where Dante is. Oh, here he is. I see him now. Okay. All right. You literally saved him. I'm not even gonna lie. Uh 18 will hit. And then roll damage. Ooh. This shade explodes into a fiery poof as it dies. Okay. Alice, it is now your turn. You see that two of the shades have already fallen, and you feel empowered both by your brother's and your sister's spell. What would you like to do? Mm-hmm. Smart. That will hit. Roll damage. 6 points of damage. Anything else? All right. This shade is going to turn. Let's see. I'm gonna flip a 1d2 here. If it's odds, it's gonna go for Oshai, and if it's evens, it's gonna go for Alice. Evens it is. Cowabunga it is. That's gonna miss, I think. Yep, 14 misses. This spectral hand shoots out, Alice, and you instinctually dodge out of the way, your eyes wide, teeth gritting. Hey, roll, it is now your turn. You feel like you have very, very narrowly avoided death thanks to your sister's quick wit and thinking. All right. Ice fails. Yeah, you got to roll damage. It's all good. Nice. Oh, man. So it's going to apply. No, I don't want to. Why am I selecting? Whatever. Oh, whoops. There we go. Okay. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn? All right. Oshai, it is now your turn. You see your brother has. Sorry? Yes, sure can. All right. Yeah, what would you like to do? Where would you like to go? Okay. Very good. Yep. All right. Very good. No opportunity attacks because of Misty Step. Very good. Oshai. Okay. That will hit. Wow, massive hit bonus. Nice. Oh, right, because of Bless as well. I forgot about that. Nice. Yep. Just keep in mind you can only roll sneak attack once. So what was your damage on top of the sneak attack? Yeah, you got to roll damage as well. Yep. So 4 damage. Yeah. 4 damage. He's still alive, but he's bloodied now. He's still hanging on. You can see that the legs are forming into misshapes to try to keep it aloft. And now for your main action. That will hit. Roll damage without sneak attack. Ooh, maximum damage though. You will see this shadow also disappear as well as the rapier goes forward. The silver rapier banishing the evil. All right. Ashrin, is now your turn. Just help in general. Correct, yes. Alice, you have advantage again on whatever check or attack you do next. This shadow is going to try to decide who to attack. He's either going to attack Oshai or Hyrule. If it's evens, he's going to attack Oshai. If it's odds, he's going to attack Hyrule. Evens. Yeah, it's you. That will hit. Wasn't a crit, luckily. You take 7 points of necrotic damage, and you also lose 1 point from your strength score. Sensing there is now blood in the air, this spirit will also attack Oshai as well. Ooh, that will also hit. Yep. You will immediately heal. So you have 2 left. You have 2 left. Okay, lucky you. All right. He's still up. And you will also lose 3 points, 3 off your. So you've lost 4 total from your strength score, bringing you to 11. Casey, it is now your turn. Okay. Dante. Who looks hurt? This guy. This guy's, yeah, looks like the north guy looks worse off. Okay. It's true though. That hits, roll damage. Ooh. That's going to do 4 points of damage. And you will watch as once again the flames consume the evil and is burned away into ash and smoke. All right, Alice, it is now your turn. 14 hits. Man, that bless though. Ooh. 6 points of damage. And you guys stay there? Hey, Roll, it is now your turn. You see that this phantasm is looking Alice dead in her eyes. Oh, it sidesteps. It does like the dodge meme from from like TikTok, you know, just like dodging. All right, Oshai, it is now your turn. This shadow is not focused on you. You have advantage because you're flanking, but it hits anyway. Go and see if you crit though. Crit fish. Still hits. Roll damage, and you have sneak attack. Very good. This is with your silver dagger. How do you finish off this last shadow? You will see Alice. It does this very fanciful dance move to dodge the radiant blast from Hayroll, and then a rapier catches it in the neck, and it just decapitates as it opens its shadow mouth, but no sound comes out as it fades into nothingness. as you do, it is now quiet once again in the underground. And that is where we're going to end the session for tonight. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. and that and that and that is where we're going to end the session for tonight. Oh man, thank you guys for playing. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching the VOD, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Feed the algorithm. It helps the stream and the channel. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.